Dear students, let's go through today Termwork number 9B. So the problem definition states that demonstrate a Python program to read the data from the spreadsheet and write the data into the spreadsheet. Now let's go through the source code directly. Now, if you want to execute this program, you need a Python module called as OpenPyXL. So first you should ensure that it is installed and it is working fine. So I'll demonstrate how to check it later, but let me first explain the source code. Now, if it is successfully installed, you can import the OpenPyXL module, then create a variable called as workbook. So there you can import the Excel file. So you can open or load the workbook by using load workbook method. So here you have to pass the parameter as the name of the file name. Now you have to make sure that the example.xlsx.file exists on your system. If it doesn't exist, please create it first. Otherwise, you will get the errors. And make sure that your source code and the example.xlsx file are present in the same folder. It is very, very important. Otherwise, you have to specify the exact path of example.xlsx file. Then Excel is saved as a workbook. Okay, so workbook will be having many worksheets. So you have to select the active worksheet. By default, the first sheet will be active. So whenever we create any Excel file, by default it's going to create a workbook which has single worksheet. So since there are no multiple worksheets, you need not have to worry about multiple worksheets here. Now set worksheet as the workbook.active. So by default, the first worksheet will be active. Then read data from a cell. To read data from a cell, you have to use worksheet object and the cell method. So here you have to specify row number and the column number. So here we are saying row 1 and column 1. And the value stored at row 1 and column 1. So with row 1 and column 1, I am actually identifying the first cell. So by specifying the specific row number and by specifying the specific column number, you can access the value stored at specific cell. Then print the value stored at cell A1. As per this program, the value is stored in first row, first column. So print whatever value you have written there. Then writing the data to the cell. So again, use worksheet.cell method. So here you have to specify row number and the column number where you want to write the data. You also need to specify what value you want to mention there. So here the value is hello world. Finally, once you write the data, you have to save it using workbook.save method. So again, you have to specify the file name. That is example.xlsx. Now, as I have said, the first task before writing the source code is to create example.xlsx file. So how to create it? So let's go to the start menu and search for Excel file. Search for Excel app. So Excel app is opening. So I have already created a file, so I'm going to directly open it. So you can see here, this is row 1 and column 1. That is A1. So A2 is row 2, column 1. So here the next data we have written programmatically. Okay. So as I have said, you have to first create example.xlsx file and save it in the same folder where your Python file is stored. So it is very, very essential. Okay. So I'm going to close it. Now I'm going to open Jupyter Notebook. So I'll search for Jupyter Notebook. So now my Jupyter Notebook is starting. So you may have to wait for a couple of minutes. If it asks for update, don't do anything. Just use the default version, that is sufficient. Okay. So you can see here, whenever you click on Jupyter Notebook app, it's going to show window like this. So that means your Jupyter Notebook is successfully running. Now on the right hand side, go to new option here. So from a drop down, select Python 3 kernel. Click on it. Okay. So now you can see here that it has created a new Jupyter Notebook. So now the file is untitled 2.ipynb. So here you can write the first statement, import open Excel and press enter. Now note here that earlier it was showing star here. Now it is showing 1. So star means it is still processing the input. Okay. So when you get this number, that means that this command has been successfully executed. Since we have not got any errors, that means the open Excel module is already installed. If it is not installed, then you can use the command exclamation pip install open Excel and press shift enter, or you can click on this run button also. So now you can see here star, that means it is processing. Note here that you also need to ensure that your system is connected to the internet, because we are installing open Excel from the internet. Okay. So note here that now we have got this message, requirement already satisfied. Okay. So that means it's already installed. So there is no need to install it now. So I have already the source code in one of the folders. So what am I going to do is I'm going to directly open the source code. Okay. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in the new notebook. That is untitled 2. So here I'm going to paste it. Okay. After this, again, I'm going to press shift enter. Okay. So now you can see here that it is showing me the error. Okay. That is file not found error. That means my source code and the example.xlsx file, they are in the different folder. Okay. So that's why what I have done is I have already created a folder called as Python, and I have made sure that both source code and the example.xlsx file, they are present in the same folder. Say for example, I'm going to click on this file explorer. So there's a Python folder here. You can see here example.xlsx and untitled.ipynb. Okay. So now if I open untitled.ipynb file in my browser, I can directly run it. Okay. So here it is already stored. So I'll just click on shift enter. Now it says that value of cell A1 is hello. Okay. Now let me go to the folder again. Open example.xlsx file. And now you can see here. So you find hello and hello world. So what I'll do is I'll modify this hello world message. So instead of hello world, I'll say hello AITM and shift enter. Now you can see here that it is not reflecting in the output. So just close the Excel file. Okay, so now it is saying want to save your changes to example.sx file. So you can say save. So open again. Okay. It's not reflected. So let me run again. Now you can also see here that whenever you are trying to make modifications to the open file, okay, it gives you the error message permission error. Okay. So whenever you are writing the content to the Excel file, please close it. Now you can see here, I'm not getting any errors. So now if I open example.xlsx file, so now you can see here, we are getting hello AITM message. Okay, so this is how you should be executing your program 9B. So there are two important things to note. First one, you have to make sure that your package is installed. Okay, how to check it? Use import openpyxl command. If it successfully executes, if you don't get any errors, right, that means it has been successfully installed. Otherwise, use pip command to install the package. Make sure that you are connected to the internet. Okay. Next, create the XLSX file and store both Python file and XLSX file in the same folder. And very important point to note here is that whenever you are writing the content, your Excel file should be closed. It should not be opened. Okay, otherwise you will get the permission error. Okay. So the output we are getting here as the hello. This is the reading content from the Excel file. If you want to check the output of writing the content to the Excel file, you need to open the Excel file and check. Thank you.